What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Bros live Saturday show. We always have a lot of fun on these Saturday shows. It's going to be amazing. We're talking about the next week and what altcoins you guys should be looking for. Yes, Bitcoin is slightly down, right about $68,000, wrestling with that level. But as things seem to be pulling back at everything except for Solana, do we potentially have a chance for a big run-up this next week? There's an article that was posted this morning about 3 coins to watch this next week based off of the recent dips. We're going to break that article down, but also give you some of our own opinions. And in fact, we are starting a brand new competition that will be a part of these Saturday shows. You guys got to give us feedback, ways to tweak it. But ultimately, we're going to be announcing those rules later on in the show. But we're going to have a new trading competition between T-Shroom and myself. You don't want to miss a single Saturday show, but you are here. So go ahead and smash the like button. If you're new here, you can watch the video. If you are entertained or you learned something, make sure, though, to hit the like button all throughout the show and also hit that subscribe button later on. Introducing my co-host for the day, that is the amazing, famous, illustrious, fully headed, haired T-Shroom from down there in Gainesville, Florida. T-Shroom, how you feeling today?
You had me in the first half of that intro, Tim.
What happened to your hair? You usually have such luscious locks.
Oh, Tim, it's a good thing that I'm on a high right now. I'm on a huge positive streak. So nothing can get me down. Some might say I'm better than I deserve. Now I do have a quote of the day here for it. Now, do you have a fan there to kind of highlight your luscious locks? What is that? Why is your hair moving?
Yeah. I got a little. You know, sometimes there's 2 computers in this room, just cranking some heat. So I got myself this little desk fan. It works pretty well, and it gets the hairs moving.
I like that
pretty nicely. You know,
I like that. Well, Tim, strap in here because this is actually a really cool quote of the day here from Samson Mao. He said, "Every 10 minutes, a Bitcoin block is produced with a 6.25 Bitcoin block reward. Every 10 minutes, the U.S. national debt increases by 1,000 Bitcoin." That is some really interesting perspective right there.
Yeah, that's actually very, very interesting.
Yeah. Which coin would you rather hold?
Gosh.
Fascinating.
That is rough.
Fascinating. Well, we're...
Thug Nasty said Tim cracking hair jokes as if his hairline isn't raising to the back of his neck. That's a good one. Good. That's true. Yeah.
We're all getting old, guys. We're all getting old. But something that's just starting is the crazy rally for BOEM. Tim's going to look at the market cap here in just a second. But BOEM has made a huge splash onto the scene here and is now in the top 100 after more than 2. I saw it as much as I think 300% up today.
Oh yeah. It is down actually in the last hour. Earlier when I came in this morning, that number said 300 and something. Yeah. So it's actually probably down 14% in the last hour.
And it's really well named because that's the sound that I hear in my head when I refresh Crypto Bubbles and it goes boom.
Good stuff. Let's check in on those markets and we'll get going with the show. Again, going to be a fun one. It's Saturday, so we'll have some news. We'll have some charts, but I am looking forward to that game. We're going to be playing it here in just probably about 30, 40 minutes from now, so stay tuned if you're interested. It's going to be a new fun competition between T-Shroom and myself. You guys will get to make fun of us. Tell us where we got it wrong. Tell us where you agree. We'll announce the rules later on. But Bitcoin down less than 1%, but down here in the last 24 hours. It is on a little bit of a streak. We'll talk about that. I mentioned it towards the end of yesterday's show. We, of course, had Magic Internet Money on, and it was a fantastic show. But I'll get to look at some stuff that I was observing, let you guys know what I'm seeing over on the Bitcoin charts. Ethereum almost down 2%, so it's taking a little bit dips. But then we got some green coins here for the rest of the space. Solana touched 198 last week. You guys know we talked about the $200 coming for Solana, and it's coming very, very true. Do we still got some gas in the tank on Solana? We'll have to take a look at that one. XRP down 1.5%. Cardano spilling here below 70 cents again, back down to 69, down 2.8%. Dogecoin looks to be the biggest top 10 loser, almost down 8%. Well, let's take a look at biggest gainers, biggest losers as a whole. As we mentioned, BOEM, Book of Meme, not that old of a coin, brand new. Let's take a look at it real quickly. I told you guys when I came in this morning, it was up over 300. You can see there, taking a little bit of a dip this morning, down from, it got as high as, what is that, about 2.8 cents. Now we're back down to 2.3 cents. So who's buying BOEM right now? Just got listed. It's already in the top 100. To see, earlier this morning, it was ranked number 78, I want to say. What's it? Okay, still ranked 78. So it hasn't dropped enough to lose that ranking, but we'll have to wait and see. Up 220%, though. So anyone who got in the pre-order there, saw the writing on the wall, you guys have an amazing up that much in. So it's not even been around for 90 days. So yeah, looking like a lot. More than 30 days, though. Those are good numbers there. I absolutely advise, if you are still in BOEM, maybe take some profit if you have those numbers. Jupiter up 25%, of course. One of those Solana coins. Phantom up 14%. Sui up 13%. Good to see a layer 1 up there. Pith up 10%, give or take. Aptos up 10%, give or take. Say up 6%. Let's take a look at our biggest losers, though. Dog with hat continues its cool off. This number keeps dwindling. Of course, it had a really big 7-day spread a couple of days ago, but now it is back down to only 14% up, down 17% on the day alone. Pepe as well taking a bleed. Not a great day for meme coins if you're not named BOEM, because our top 3 are all meme coins, followed by number 5, Bonk, as well. So not a great day there, but potentially could that mean that they could have a bounce back week this week? We'll have to wait and see on that one. T-Shroom, any of your thoughts before we jump into some charts, and then we'll go do a little bit of news after that? You're muted, my friend.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I think the markets are just trying to get their footing here. You know, it's not a surprise that a lot of the top 100 coins are pretty much red today. You know, looking across the field, it's mixed. There's a decent amount that are green. I wouldn't say it's quite 50-50. Yeah, it's definitely a little more red than green, but you know, I'd say ultimately the market's trying to get its footing, trying to get its head around, okay, how low can Bitcoin go, and do you want to be buying quite yet, or do you want to wait to deploy a little lower? I think that, you know, some coins are obviously getting a nibble here. Jupe and Pith, much more than a nibble, but then you have names like Injective and maybe even Solana you could lump in, or Binance is a good kind of example here, that are getting a little bit of a nibble. So they're not down, but investors aren't enthusiastically jumping in. What does enthusiastically jumping in look like? Well, it looks like this right here. So excellent example right there. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the market this morning. And I bought some Chainlink, and I bought a little bit more. What else did I buy? I think AVAX. So those are some of the names that I've picked up here in the last like 48 hours. Yep.
Very, very nice. Well, let's go ahead and jump on over to the charts. Let's start off with Bitcoin, taking a little bit of a spill here still. Yesterday, if you guys were watching the show at the very end, I pointed out that, at the beginning of the show, I actually pointed out that we could see bearish divergence here on the 1-hour chart. It turns out we did. We had got a nice, consistent descending level of resistance. So keep your eyes every time Bitcoin starts to jump back up. Here on the hourly chart, we are printing a bullish dot. Let's see if we got anything. We have had a bullish reversal, and the money flow, while it's not necessarily fully going positive, it's getting kind of boring sideways, could have a positive flow. You guys know that if that money flow starts to ascend, that could be a nice little long position, but at the same time, there's not a lot of space there. So I think in this case, even though that is one of my favorite entries, what I would want to see is not only the trifecta on the oscillators, I want to see that trend get broken and have a move back to the upside. Of course, you guys know one of these we're watching. I have been highlighting the last couple of days a potential move all the way back down below $63,000. Of course, this was a rising wedge that we have broken bearish out of. Not surprised to see a bounce back, but our breakout prediction could get us as low as 62.7. Guess what that would be, guys? That would almost be a perfect 10% pullback, which is normal. But we have to continue to wait and see. Let's take a look at larger time frames, see what they are saying, even using our Lux Algo indicators. We've hit our 4-hour take profit. Let's see about some higher time frames. Let's go up to the 12-hour, see what the 12-hour is saying. 12-hour under a short position right now, saying the take profit should be closer to 65 or 64.5 and could get down to those same levels. Of course, we have an order block down here towards 63,000. And it says we could get even back down towards this lower order block down here towards 61. Let's see what those oscillators are saying. You can see even though we have a reversal dot, the money flow is still flowing negative after having excessive buyers here, after being above the bullish threshold. We got that red reversal. We have our bearish divergence and our bearish momentum. So this was your key right here. If you had been watching 12-hour chart, to enter a short right there, and you would have got it right on that big blue candle. If you're using Lux Algo, if you're not, you might not be doing as well in the trading game. If you want to make some good trades, make sure you're checking out Lux Algo. Link down below. And by the way, when you guys get Lux Algo, you got 30 days to make your mind up if you want to keep it or not. Get your money back, 100% guaranteed. Lux Algo is #1 indicator for trading. Go check it out. As a whole, though, these larger time frames definitely curving, even here on the daily chart. We were just looking at the 12-hour. But remember, I told you here a couple of days ago, we had heavy money flow in here. But if that excessive buyers were to fall, it would fall fast. Look at that. Within one candle, it is down to no excessive buyers after having a lot. This is another sell signal. We had the red reversal come in. We have our bearish divergence. So we had that reversal call. We got the bearish momentum. And now we have the money flow going down below that bullish threshold. So I definitely think at this point, the short is in game. You got your smart trail concept coming in down here towards 61. That's going to be in accordance with that 4-hour order block that we had here on Lux Algo. You guys can see the MACD has just recently on the last candle crossed bearish officially. It's looking like the dip is just getting started more so than coming to an end, but don't be surprised on the shorter time frames to see some bounces. But these longer time frames, such as the 12-hour daily, are telling you Bitcoin is ready to keep going down. And if you're asking where that level is, of course, historically, we've mentioned on this channel several times, historically, we get 30 to 40% pullbacks on Bitcoin. But I'm willing to say, you know what, maybe this time is different. At the very least, we'll probably see another 20% pullback. Why? Well, ever since the bear market bottom back here in November of 2022, we have had several 20% pullbacks. We have one right here back in March. We had a second one here in May, a third one in August. This is all 2023. Then more recently, the biggest pullback of this explosive movement back here in January was 20%. And now as we're approaching closer to 7-8%, we look like we could get possibly another 12 to 13. And that 20% dip would bring us back down to, let's get the exact level here. So I'm not just faking it. I want to see that exact level. But if we were to repeat history of this bearish cycle, 20% should bring us back down. 20 to 22 should bring us somewhere back down to this $57,000 region. That, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see, potentially could be a retesting of this ascending yellow line. I got rid of my other one. I'll go ahead and draw it here for you again. We were in a megaphone pattern earlier this year where you can see that we had higher highs and lower highs, a very confusing formation, but ultimately these usually break to the upside. However, we have never come back to test this yellow line. Well, it looks like at this point, based off of how high we got and the timeliness, a 20 to 22% pullback could see us pull back, touching this yellow line just perfectly and stay in accordance with that normal 20% pullback we've gotten this entire bull market. So even though I'm still on watch out for potential retesting of 48, another significant resistance level that has not been tapped, you know, there's a chance that 57 ends up being the bottom, the level that it doesn't go back down below. When we say the phrase, this time is different, there's going to be a lot of things that are different. And this time, maybe 30% doesn't happen. Maybe 40% doesn't happen. 20% might be the new normal healthy pullback for Bitcoin. That's a sign of maturity, but also, just so you guys know, could be a sign that you're not going to see crazy explosiveness on Bitcoin without these normal 20% pullbacks. It might be we just have to slowly chug along for the rest of this bull market, which some of you guys are going to be disappointed in. Some of you guys are actually going to like, because that way you're constantly able to get in when you need to. That's what we're seeing here on Bitcoin. Let's take a quick look, T-Shroom, at Solana.
Let's do it.
Solana just continuing to run up and away. This is a coin, though, they take bigger dips than 20%. Let's take a look at Solana. Since its bottom, what are some of the biggest pullbacks Solana has had here? Let's start off right here. Ooh, let's go ahead and grab this again. We did have a nice cool off on Solana of 53%. Not thinking that's going to be the normal, but just wanted you guys to be aware of that. Let's see what this one is over here. Different pullbacks we've had this entire bull market. 45% for Solana. Then it really has not had another significant one until back here in December. Let's see how big this pullback was. When you have explosive runs, you also have nice pullbacks as well. This was a good 38%. We'll just kind of round it to the closest 40% pullback. So now that we see Solana up and away, just going nuts, do not be surprised to see potentially some form of a 40% pullback down as well. Let's just see if we were to pull back from now, 40% could bring us back down. Ooh, that makes a lot of sense here, guys. This level right here, 119, 120, a former resistance level during this climb. This could be that good 40% pullback if Solana were to slow down. And again, several white candles here in a row, several bullish days. In fact, almost that's more than 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. An entire week of no bearishness whatsoever. I'm not going to say it for 100% certainty, but these are the types of candles and rallies that get followed by some form of a cool off. And if Bitcoin is going to have itself a nice little 20% dip, I would not be surprised to see Solana take itself a nice 30 to 40% dip itself. So keep your eyes on that level, 120. If we keep rallying here, if we get above 200, that level is going to keep moving, though. A close area would also be this resistance level up towards 125. But either way, Solana a little overextended here, should have some form of a correction. If we go to the oscillators here, not yet, though. You don't want to necessarily say with 100% certainty this is going to correct. Money flow still positive. Yes, we've had a red reversal triangle, but we've had 3 of them here more recently that seem to keep getting ignored. Let's wait for that money flow to start going negative. Let's wait for a bearish dot to come in. And let's go to a smaller time frame such as the 4-hour chart, where no, still positive right now. If we go even to the 1 hour, you're not necessarily seeing the negativity. Solana just out of control. And the main reason for that, honestly, guys, is probably due to this news right here, the major Binance announcement related to Solana Network. Everything else seems to be dropping, but Solana keeps on climbing. It's because of the Binance update. By the way, BNB coin still climbing like crazy. Just new decentralized applications. Jito, Jupiter, Drift, Dual Finance, Magic Eden, all this stuff. Different things you can now use if you're in the Binance ecosystem. That is probably the news propping Solana up and away. But I will say, while we're on Solana, I am holding Solana, not selling my Solana bag. I hope you guys know that I'm going to make a lot of money this bull market from Solana. A lot of you guys know I believe that Solana could make it all the way to $1,000. But guess what? Now as we're sitting just under 200, that means we really only have about a 5x left in Solana. There are a lot of other coins that have bigger gains from here on out in the bull market. As great as Solana has been, I'm not raising my price prediction from $1,000. I still think that is the level to keep an eye on. Whereas we have coins like Chainlink, AVAX, Cardano, Matic, I still believe a lot of these coins have more than 10% or 10x's left in them. Solana's great run is also making it a coin that is getting less and less advantageous to be investing at these levels. But if we get that pullback to 120, if we get that pullback anywhere below, I would say 130, 140, Solana could be a very, very good coin to be buying because now you're starting to talk about, again, 7, 8x's. But hopefully many of you have your purchase. I know some people in our community were purchasing down at $20. You guys are going to make a killing in this bull market. I know like my average buying, I think right now is somewhere closer to $30. Hopefully you guys got some purchases in down there. You're going to make some money. But if you're saying, hey, Tim, should I still be buying Solana in bulk? I don't want to say definitively it's too late, but there are other coins at this point that are more advantageous than Solana. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that take. Do you guys still think Solana has a 10x left in it from this point? Or do you agree this massive run-up is going to be harmful to its future 10x ability? Do you think it has less in the tank than maybe some of these other coins? T-Shroom, while I'm waiting on chat to kind of engage there, and we're going to jump into news here in a second. What do you think? Do you agree with that take about Solana? Do you disagree? Are you impartial?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are underestimating Solana. I think that what we've found is that the folks who are invested in Solana really believe in it more than probably any other crypto project out there. And I, maybe second to like XRP and Cardano. Obviously, Bitcoin would be out of that conversation because it is much more believed in. But yeah, I mean, I think people are underestimating it. I really do. I think Solana is going to do very well because of the types of people who are invested in it are not going to sell it, right? We saw more downtime for Solana. What happened? People just bought it. It was up on the day, right? So ultimately, I think that people are underestimating it. And
what is your price prediction? You think what's your top level for Solana?
I mean, I think probably 500 is a conservative and nice psychological number.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
low.
Yeah,
but so your level, we're talking about we don't even have a 3x left for your price target.
Well, no, I mean that would be my conservative estimate. I think 1,000 is in the conversation. I think it's in the cards. It could get there, maybe even 1,200, maybe even 1,300. Right? We don't know how frothy this cycle is going to be. I mean, there's some pretty crazy estimates out there.
This is one of the coins that I think should be on watch for an early top because everything will flow into it. I'm still keeping my $1,000 price prediction that we made months ago, but at the rate we're going, I think we'll hit that very early. And guess what happens when a coin front runs the rest of the market? It's the perfect candidate for people to take profit from and then move into some of the other coins that are lagging. I think that could be a situation we see in Solana. Like I could see Solana getting into the range of definitely above 500, but shooting up maybe closer to 600-700. And then having a big pullback, like 50% pullback mid bull market because people are pouring and taking profits and moving other projects. And then it finishes the bull market with that second wave. It gets up to that $1,000. So there could be a good chance later on in the bull market to move some profits from other coins back into it. But definitely running very early, getting a lot of big gains in pre-halving and pre-explosiveness of the bull market. Do not be surprised to see Solana be a candidate for an early top or an early run that there's going to be a disappointing season where it's either falling or not doing much. And that's simply because it did so well early that people are taking profits to move into other projects.
I guess the counter argument to that would be just because it gets high early doesn't mean it can't keep going higher, as folks who aren't doing
doesn't mean it can't. No, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's still rules. There's still rules about how it will flow. Like again, because when we talk about I can't remember the exact number because it's been a while since I made the video, but when I called for $1,000 price prediction, we got to keep in mind when you're making price predictions, you can't just respond to emotion or flow. You do have to take into account what the market cap is going to look like. And I was very generous. I can't remember the exact number, but I'm pretty sure that $1,000 mark is going to put it somewhere in the region of $400 to $500 billion. That's a generous contribution. That's a generous market cap. That when it hits that, it's just going to be really hard for it to go above that. Like I could be wrong. I don't see Solana going to $800 billion, $1 trillion in market cap. I think that $400 to $500 billion mark is the right mark to talk about. Well, but you look at it right now, that's kind of part of the problem. Let's go back to coin market cap and look at Solana. The number 4 altcoin, Tether doesn't necessarily count, currently sitting at 85, well and above. I mean, take a look at number 6, XRP right behind it, less than half. I mean, it's sitting at 33. The truth is with BNB only sitting at 88, Solana's already almost the top 3 coin. I think to ask for much more than a $400 to $500 billion is asking for a lot out of Solana, and one that I think when people who are watching the crypto markets see Solana sitting at $400 billion, but they see XRP and Cardano sitting at like 100, they're going to say, all right, let's take some profit here and move it into some more underdeveloped coins here. Let's make money here. Honestly, there's just not a lot of money left to make in Solana. You'll see a little bit of a dip. It'll get back up there towards the end of the bull market. But I at this point can't really fathom much more than 500 billion going into Solana.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. It could be kind of seen as like a pretty safe bet, utility bet. As kind of towards the end of the cycle, maybe some folks kind of want to rotate back into L1s, not realizing that there will be a bear market, that they probably want to actually sell out of crypto in general.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, we don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, right?
Nope.
And we're just at the beginning, but I do agree that Solana is just absolutely a beast. It's come out of it's come out of the bear market just like a cannon, and people have taken notice of that, and they're investing accordingly, and in downtime can't stop. It looks like we got a super chat here, Tim.
Yeah, Say and Mina. This is going to Morgan Powell. Thank you for the super chat, Morgan. Say or Mina for better gains. Looking at Say currently sitting literally right at $1, just under at 99 cents. Got a market cap of $2.6 billion. Where's Mina? Mina, I think, is lower because I don't think I passed it. Did I pass it already? Where's Mina ranked? Oh, here we go. Number 76. All right. So, we got Mina sitting at half the market cap, just under half the market cap. So that is a start necessarily. This is a hard one because I don't know if I haven't done as much research to think about where I would place them. I know both of them are Mina's. Eric Wallen saying Mina. Okay. All right. Mina, Mona, Moo. I don't know if I know enough to say why I would say one is better than the other, but I will put it that way, that you're looking at if these coins are comparable, meaning they do similar things, I would give the edge to Mina because it's got half the market cap. Now, there's a chance based on tokenomics, if Mina's tokenomics are just abysmal compared to Say, that maybe that doesn't make a difference. But assuming that they have a similar structure to their tokenomics with printing more supply, you got on the surface give the edge to Mina. But I also am not necessarily knowledgeable enough to know, like, is Say supposed to be double the concept? I mean, it's like I'll make more money if I'm looking over here. I'll make more money trading Avalanche than Ethereum, but I don't expect Avalanche to surpass Ethereum's market cap. I just think I'll make more money. So you have to kind of think about expectation. When it comes to Say and Mina, is Say twice as valuable as Mina, in which case, or more than that, in which case you give this edge to Say. But if you're sitting here neck and neck saying, man, these are similar projects, I'm expecting similar results, they could be neck and neck through this bull market, then you have to give the edge to Mina because it's half the value right now.
Yeah. Well, we got some breaking news as we were talking about, as we were sitting here talking about Solana. Check this headline out. Solana daily DEX volume surpasses record 3.5 billion. Yeah. Records its highest daily DEX volume in history. Wow. That's Solana. We were literally just talking about it, and this came out like a minute ago. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I wonder how much of that was Boom, Book of Meme. Because again, it just exploded here in the last 24 hours.
It's probably a lot.
Look at that drop. I told you, this morning's at 300. This is problematic because I was looking at this as a coin potentially to look at in our competition later, and this dip that's happening, I'm not feeling confident about it.
Well, it's not on Blofin, is it?
It is. It is on Blofin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We're getting away a little early. We're giving away some of the rules. You guys got to stay tuned. New competition between me and T Shroom that we're going to try to start doing every single week. It'll be fun. It'll also have some punishments for the loser that should make things a little spicy here on the show. We'll be announcing those here in just a couple of minutes, but let's go ahead and take some time. Let's go into some news for the day. By the way, we got 170 people in here watching on this fine Saturday. If you have not already, smash that like button if you're enjoying the conversation. We're having a lot of good times on the Saturday shows, and those times are going to keep on rolling. We're going to the news, but having a lot of fun here for the last 45 minutes or so. T-Shirt, what do we got in the way of breaking news?
Absolutely, Tim. Well, as far as breaking news, I went ahead and just shot it out there. That's that Solana DEX all-time high volume. Yeah. It's exciting. Yeah. Tim, it's something we could have covered it yesterday, but we had Mim on, so we wanted to give as much screen time to Mim as possible to get in there with the ciphers and all of the really advanced TA that he does. But there was a pretty entertaining clip. There might be a new Jamie Dimon on the block, so let's take a look. Let's take a listen.
About Bitcoin ETFs, question came in, hey, we know you're not offering one. Have you changed your mind? What would it take for you to change your mind? We don't plan to, and we don't, we're not going to change our minds around this unless the asset class changes. Yep. Why? First of all, we don't believe it belongs. Like a Bitcoin ETF belongs in a long-term portfolio. Someone's saving for their retirement. It's a speculative asset.
That's exactly it.
And the funds that we offer invest in asset classes that actually have underlying cash flow. So, like we mentioned stocks, you're buying the forward earnings of a company.
That's right.
And that bond, right,
has coupon and principal payments.
Yeah, you're going to pay me back and you're paying me something for lending you the money.
Exactly.
Right, so they both can be valued. And that's, for us, we understand why they would rise up in a portfolio and the role they will play, and we can model them. Something like Bitcoin is just too volatile, and it's not a store of value. It hasn't been. And it's very volatile. When stocks got hammered in recent crises, Bitcoin went right with them. And so it is speculative, really tough to think about how it belongs in a long-term portfolio.
Gotta love it. So many thoughts, but Tim, what jumps out at you?
Yeah, it's volatile. That's how people make money. But ultimately, it's not been volatile recently. Like we talked about, like 20% seems to be about all it can do at this point in terms of heading to the downside. Whereas then after following these 20% dips, it'll rally like 40, 50%. There's a reason why people are still buying above all-time highs, former all-time highs, because they see the long-term value. I think it's just another banker who's looking to protect his interests. And he probably has a lot of reason to want to keep traditional finance and people staying in more traditional stocks because he can control and understand it better. Whereas when it comes to Bitcoin, he has no control and he's scared of that. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to interpret it. I mean, if you put it simply, if you look at it just very, very like Jim Cramer, he's trying to manipulate the market. What's he trying to do here? He's trying to pump treasuries to probably exit to buy Bitcoin that he just dumped, right? You know, if you just look at it brass taxes like that, then that is a pretty strong argument to be made, I would say. But the thing is that in that tweet that was put out by Watcher.guru, one of the comments says this by Tony Cunningham, who I don't know who that is, but said, don't listen to what they say, look what they do. Vanguard is one of the largest investors in Bitcoin mining in the U.S. He's a clever man. So yes, Bitcoin doesn't technically have forward earnings like Ford or Microsoft, but the mining companies do. And so it's so hypocritical to invest money into Bitcoin mining companies, but then call the underlying asset, worthless and it's not a store of value. It just goes to show that these people are willing to say anything. And Tim, what I would say is that if you own Bitcoin, you are actually more wealthy than these people. Well, who probably own Bitcoin. But what do I mean by that? You're more wealthy than Jamie Dimon. You're more wealthy than this guy, Tim, what's his name? Tim Buckley. Why? Because you get to choose what you say. And that's freedom. And that is wealth, right? If someone is handing you a cue card and saying, hey, this is what Wall Street establishment wants you to say today so that they can buy low and sell high, that's not freedom. That's not wealth, right? He may have more riches than you. He may have more money than you, but he's not wealthier than you. So that's my thought here. It's disgusting. And I hope that the future doesn't have these same incentives. But my guess is that markets aren't going to change just because crypto comes in, and there will still be plenty of snakes in the grass to go around.
Yeah, good take. Good take.
Great. I'm glad we agree. Now we can move on.
That's a rare thing, but yeah, no.
It is.
I think the one thing you said, I will say, I didn't catch. I didn't know the Tim Place's investment. It's very good to continue to watch what people are doing rather than what they're saying. It's funny. I saw a clip last night from I think Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson interviewed Rand Paul, one of the people voting against one of the. Is Rand Paul a senator?
Dude,
is he a senator
Tucker has been having
TikTok?
the freaking most banger podcasts.
Yeah.
He's
a senator, right?
Rand Paul, I believe, is a senator. Yeah.
Yeah. So he had him on talking about why he was against the banning of TikTok. And Rand pretty much actually said, I'm not a fan of TikTok. I don't like TikTok. But I'm watching what the people who are voting to get rid of it are doing. There's clear incentives that they have that are not for the American people.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy who's coming out against TikTok and for TikTok. This is not a partisan issue. This is very bipartisan. AOC, for example, someone who I think a lot of people in the crypto world probably don't like. She's sitting here saying this is a very unjust thing to go against. So I think some conservatives are probably looking at it, if AOC says that we should have TikTok, then we definitely should get rid of it. But then you have someone like Rand Paul, who's an ultra conservative libertarian, meaning he believes the government should not infringe upon any rights whatsoever. I think a lot of conservatives would agree with Rand Paul. He's sitting here saying, no, this is a violation of freedom. We should absolutely not be banning people's ability. There's clearly incentive that the government's trying to take. So we're seeing absolute chaos right now in Washington about logical reasons to get rid of TikTok or keep TikTok. But ultimately, watch what people are doing, not what they're saying, and you'll learn more about who they are as a person.
Absolutely. And that's an excellent example. And Tucker Carlson, man, what a career change he has had. It is absolutely fascinating. I listened to the just indulging here in a tangent. I listened to the podcast that he did with Chris Cuomo, which Chris Cuomo of all people, dude.
Yeah.
It is so fascinating to see and hear like the different. Anyway, it's fascinating. But while this man here is on the top of the mountain, on the top of Wall Street, getting rich and getting told what to say to become even richer, right? You have a nice little contrast with this man here, he's literally trying to help the poorest among the world get richer, and to sacrificing his own self. I mean, he's taking a big risk here. He says El Salvador President Nayib Bukele says the country will purchase 1 Bitcoin every day until it becomes unaffordable with fiat currencies. So this is a really fascinating move here. Tim, do you think that this could start a huge movement of people and maybe even countries starting to buy 1 Bitcoin a day? It's a DCA strategy that is very interesting.
It has to be, because ultimately we are watching El Salvador here a couple years ago was not doing well financially. It's not a very large country to begin with, but for the populace, a very poor country. They are already doing extremely well. So well, in fact, of course, something we haven't talked about here, a really sad thing happening more recently. You heard, of course, about Haiti and the overthrow, I guess a cannibal leader, a gang leader, has overthrown the entire Haitian government, which wasn't very strong to begin with, but is taking over. Nayib Bukele and El Salvador are doing so well. He told the United States, he's like, hey, yeah, we'll need some of your help, but give us the support we need, and we'll go in and we'll help restore Haiti to be a sovereign governed nation. And it's like, man, El Salvador has gotten, in the last couple of years, because of their investments in Bitcoin, they've gotten away from only worrying about themselves internally to so much that they have the financial ability to go in and help other countries. And of course, one of his new best friends, the newly elected president of Argentina, another president who's going to be using Bitcoin to save his country from economic disaster. Of course, that's what's his name?
Javier Milei.
Javier Milei. I think you're going to see a lot more leaders in countries that have economic woes turn towards a financial stable move like investing in Bitcoin. And I'm hoping it's not too long before maybe some of these larger countries like the United States, like different countries in Europe, heck, even some of those countries out east start getting backing themselves with Bitcoin to build actual real long-term wealth. And they can hopefully use that in a way to benefit their civilians and cut back on a lot of the poverty and the problems we have worldwide.
Yeah, absolutely. And Argentina's been making strides. Sky News of all places, Sky News of Australia. I keep getting suggested videos from on YouTube saying that Argentina, Javier Milei is just killing it over there. That they've done the afuera. They've gotten rid of all these departments, or are in the process of doing it. I think he fired an entire department live on TV.
I was going to say, if there's nothing more that screams he is the Argentinian Trump, is he fired people live on TV. Is that not something Donald Trump would? He literally had a whole show that the famous line was, "You fired."
Yeah,
that's he is Donald Trump of Argentina.
Absolutely. Fiesta Spree giving us some fire here. He said, "Why you talk about Tucker Carlson? Talk about projects, give analysis." So Fiesta Spree.
It was a conversation that sprung off of a Bitcoin topic. So.
Well, I mean, Fiesta Spree, just send us an invoice for that really good consulting insight. I think you're so right. We have no business running a live stream. We need people like you to tell us what to do in order to be successful. We've got an interesting article here from Yahoo Finance.
Real quick, let's take a break. Let's take a pause real quick. We got 2 super chats. We have to address here because we don't miss super chats.
We don't.
This is the one channel on YouTube that does not miss super chats. Coin Cheeky given $5 said, is render tied to NVIDIA because of the AI narrative? Simple answer, Coin Cheeky, yes. I mean, that is very much something that's tied. But I'm not going to tie it 100%. I still think render's had some green days even when NVIDIA hasn't. But as a whole, watch the AI space follow NVIDIA similarly to how the majority of altcoins follow Bitcoin, I think is the best way to probably put that. Different take, T-Shroom, agree. We have another super chat we got to read too.
No, I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's a Solana coin too. Render's a Solana coin, so it does have a little bit of that.
Somewhat.
That Solana boost. But yeah, I mean, I would expect to continue to see Render do very well through the rest of the bull market. Next super chat here from John.
John giving $10. Thank you, John. Said, bought Solana on $20, and last night I converted the rest of my Bitcoin and some other over to Solana. I'm about 4,000 Sol coins. Should I move some money back over to AVAX or Bitcoin? Well, if you moved it out of Bitcoin to begin with, I wouldn't move it back there because, again, you probably did that trying to make more money, which you did very well. But eventually, I would wait for higher prices if I was you to move back to Bitcoin. AVAX, interesting. I mean, AVAX definitely has more room to run. The price prediction I gave for AVAX shoots up the low end closer to $650. And, of course, we're sitting right now at $56, meaning my expectations is still a 10x left in AVAX, whereas we just talked about my expectation for Solana is closer to a 5x. We're not here to give financial advice, John, but if I was you and if I was the one holding there, I probably would continue to hold Solana because I think Solana could continue to be a coin that leads the bull market for the next couple of months. But if you are looking at a coin and AVAX is one of your top choices, AVAX, I think there's a decent chance from here on out, more money could be made in AVAX investing than in Solana investing. That's just my personal opinion, though. Again, we talked about earlier, Tishu made a great point. Solana's melting faces, and sometimes it's hard to go against a coin that continues to defy odds.
Yeah, and there's a couple of quotes that come to mind here. One from Warren Buffett: "Do not put all your eggs in one basket."
Yeah.
But hold tight because there's another one here: "Put all your eggs in one basket and then watch that basket." Andrew Carnegie. So giving you a non-answer there, John. Sorry about that. My hunch is that I would side with Warren Buffett. Is if you're going to put all your eggs in one basket, just put it into Bitcoin. Unless for some reason you're only in crypto just to see the crazy 100x's, in which case you're not going to get that in Bitcoin. You're also not going to get that in. I don't think you're going to see 100x in Solana or AVAX. But in general, I would diversify a little more than that because not because I think Solana is not going to do well, but because I think that if something happens with Solana, all your eggs are in one basket, and then your entire exposure to crypto, could be in question, could be bad. Again, I think there's a very small, less than 1% chance something catastrophic happens to Solana, right? Because we've seen even something that would have previously been categorized as catastrophic happened to Solana, and nothing. It got bought on the day, got a higher bid that day. With the downtime is what I'm referring to. So
the best way to put it, hindsight's 2020, and everyone likes to talk about what's the best decision you could have made in hindsight. But you can't invest with hindsight. You have to invest with proper risk management. So maybe Solana is the best place to get your money, or maybe AVAX is the best place. I mean, there will be one coin that has the most gains throughout the entire bull market, and hindsight will say, oh, well, you should have moved your entire wealth into that one coin. But we don't know what coin that is. So at this point, the game is risk management and being safe with, all right, just in case I'm wrong, let me spread this out. And I saw someone tweet this the other day. I can't remember who tweeted it. They said, after I think it was like their fourth or fifth. No, it can't be fifth. So I think they've been in almost every single bull market in Bitcoin. They said in my 4 bull market experiences with crypto, one thing I've learned is the coin that you think is going to do the best oftentimes is one of your least gainers, and the coin that you think is not going to do that well is oftentimes one of your biggest gainers. All the more reason to diversify and play the field. Don't try to make it all big in on one coin, because you could guess right, which would be awesome, but you also could guess wrong and miss out on a great opportunity.
Yep. DJ Monty asking a good question. Do you see a pattern in ADA lagging again behind the crowd, meaning it will be a late rocket? Yes.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that a lot. We both think Cardano's a late bloomer in this bull market, but for being a late bloomer, it's doing very well in the last couple of weeks. But I think the big gains on Cardano will come later than some of the others. I told you guys before, my hot take is Cardano temporarily falls out of the top 10 and then shoots back up into at least the top 6, if not top 5.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into our next story here. And this is actually analysis from ARK Invest, in ARK Invest's own Kathy Wood. So she's picked a cryptocurrency here. You may have heard of it, but this is her number one top cryptocurrency to buy before it soars 1,328%, according to her. So she's now highly confident that Bitcoin is the coin, will hit that level well before her earlier prediction date of 2030. So she's adjusting that prediction. That's interesting. If Bitcoin does reach 1 million, it would have increased in price by a staggering 1,328%. So what needs to go right for that to happen? The key driving factor, says Kathy Woods, has been the recent introduction of the new spot Bitcoin ETFs that immediately unlocked the potential for anyone from the smallest retail investor to the largest institutional investor to invest in Bitcoin via a trusted and regulated investment product. The article goes on, and this is the other part that I found really interesting here. Bitcoin asset allocation mix. Given this huge institutional buy-in from Wall Street through the ETFs, portfolio strategists are now ratcheting up their suggested Bitcoin asset allocations. Right now, the suggested Bitcoin allocation for investors ranges from 1% to 5%, with 3% starting to emerge as the new norm. But some investment firms are now suggesting even higher Bitcoin allocations. ARK Invest, for example, suggests that the optimum Bitcoin allocation for a portfolio could be closer to 20%. And for folks under the age of 55, that is my allocation suggestion, not financial advice, suggestion to do more research on. But I really like that 20% number, especially for people who do not know anything about crypto. Just get 20% into Bitcoin and just chill and leave the rest in stocks. And hopefully you don't have any bonds, but if you have bonds, let it ride. That's something I like. Tim, what are your thoughts here on Kathy Woods? It looks like she's pushing up. Well, she had that 2030 price prediction of $1 million, but with the performance we've seen in the ETFs, it looks like she's bringing that back. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think she's too bullish here?
It back, she's still predicting $1 million by 2030 is her prediction, right?
I think she's saying sooner. It doesn't look like the article really defines how much earlier.
I think there's a chance that we see $1 million in 2030. And of course, this time's different. I want to see, let's see how high this bull market gets. I would say if this bull market could get to $300,000 on Bitcoin, then I think there's a chance, a good chance, I'll even give it, of $1 million Bitcoin by 2030. Remember, we're going to peak here late 2024, we're going to peak in 2025. Whether it's early 2025 or late 2025, that's to be determined. But I think we'll peak. Where's the price of Bitcoin going to be? The reason I'm saying that, let's go to my screen here real quick. Previous all-time high of 2017, we're talking about $20,000, give or take. Of course, we made it to about 70. We're talking about a 3 and some odd change X from top to top, right? Of course, if we were to have another 3X from our former all-time high, we're talking about a $210,000 price prediction. Then, of course, a 3X would only get us to about $600,000 by the next bull market. When's the next bull market? 2029. Ultimately, whenever you make a prediction about 2030, I think what you're actually predicting is where will the price be in 2029. Because 2030, if the 4-year cycle stays in some form of attack, stays intact in some form, it'll actually be part of the bear market, right? So we're talking about how high Bitcoin could get before 2030 in 2029. I think if we make it to somewhere between 250 to 300, I think there's a good outside chance that 3X bull market continues from former all-time high. But if we do see, let's say, for example, we had Mim on yesterday talking about he's more thinking 150 as the more bullish side, more realistically somewhere around 130. Caleb Franzen has come in giving us great points, saying 170 is looking very, very juicy.
175 for him, yeah.
Yeah, 170, 175. Let's put it this way, guys. If that's as high as we get, do we have reason to believe the bull market of 2028, 2029 will be more explosive for price action when the price is so much higher and you need a lot more money to have a big gain come into the space? I don't think that's likely. I think for a $1 million price prediction in 2029, I think you have to have an extremely bullish price in this bull market. Again, pushing to, if not over $300,000. That's possible. I've been in the camp of saying 200 to 250 is kind of my target here more recently. I'll update that if I see something change. But even that, I don't think is good enough to warrant a $1 million price prediction. I think 2030 is a little early. I think we're talking about 2033 is when I'm thinking we're discussing $1 million for Bitcoin more realistically, in my personal opinion.
Gotcha. Love it. In any case, you do well to buy a Bitcoin every day, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Like Nayib Bukele.
Yeah, we're sitting here complaining, guys. I'll take an $170,000 Bitcoin this bull market. I'll take a $600,000 by 2029. I'll take all that. That's good money right there. For my earliest investment into Bitcoin was at $11,000. So that's big. That's big gains right there.
As will I. Well, I think this is a good kind of natural movement into our factoid of the day. But before we get there, Tim, we've got a new partner on the show, which is iTrust Capital. And iTrust Capital, I've been looking at their website. I've been kind of checking out some of the different options they have. And Tim, I think we gotta tell everybody a little bit more about iTrust.
Yeah. Guys, iTrust has been around for a while now. If you guys have not heard about it, that's okay. You've heard about it now. Go sign up today. You can buy and sell, but you also can set everything up in a Roth IRA. And you guys can see it's not just Bitcoin. Look at the coins scrolling amongst the top. There's a lot of altcoins you can put into your IRA. And the advantage of it, in case you don't know, this is one of those ways. If you're asking questions, how do I not pay taxes on crypto? Guys, we're never going to advise you to do anything illegal. Pay your taxes when you have to. But if you're putting money every single year into a Roth IRA for the long-term future, when you go to take it out and you have the right, whether it's via age or timeline, you will not have to pay a single cent of your crypto gains in taxes. This is the major play. We are very happy to partner with iTrust. It's a company that I have been using now for over a year. So now that we're finally partnered with them, it's a dream come true. Cannot recommend a company more than iTrust Capital. Go sign up with a link down below today. Let them know that the bros sent you. And the other cool thing about it is obviously there's limits on it. But I joked the other day, it's really not a joke. Sign up for yourself, sign up for your wife, sign up for every single child that you have. And you can put, I believe the number, it's either 6,000 or 7,000. I have to look up to the updated level. But like, for example, me, I can put 6,000 in for myself, but then I'm also going to create an account for my wife and my son, Brody. So now I'm able to put up to $18,000 of crypto that will not be touched by the government at all. Those of you with maybe 3, 4, 5 children, great spot to set them up for college, maybe buy a house, something in the future, especially if you're putting Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of these other altcoins that should make it a long time. That is some real wealth you can build right now. Check out iTrust Capital in the link below.
Absolutely. Well, Tim, you had your fun there. Now it's time to get serious. What pharmaceutical company makes Ozempic? Is it Pfizer,
no freaking idea.
Eli Lilly, Johnson & Johnson, or is it Novo Nordisk?
Ozempic's the weight loss drug, right? That's like going viral.
Ozempic.
Okay.
Partner with Investing Bros. Have you had so much success day trading because you've been watching Investing Bros that you're starting to put on weight? Well, now you can.
Ozempic? Let's go Pfizer. I don't know why, but I'm feeling Pfizer.
He's feeling Pfizer. Let's see if Tim got it right today. Oh, it's Novo Nordisk.
I wasn't even close. That wasn't even going to be my second guess, but all right.
You can't win them all.
Out of curiosity, why did the elf choose this question? Was this linked to something else today?
It's selling off the shelves. Everybody wants
a subtle hint that you're telling me I need to lose weight? Is this what?
Tim, I would not. I may be passive, but I may be passive, but I'm not that passive.
Did my wife pay you? Like, what's going on? Like,
No.
Oh gosh.
But I have been listening. For some reason, Ozempic has been making its way around a lot of the podcasts I listen to.
It has.
People have just been bringing it up. Interestingly enough, and Novo Nordisk, I believe their stock price has done very, very well. It's a Danish company, but they're traded on the New York Stock Exchange, I believe, too. But you didn't tune in to hear about Novo Nordisk,
we're
guys.
about to. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say we've got a article here. These are the crypto price predictions, the top altcoins to watch amid market correction. Tim, we could go ahead and get into that, or we could go ahead and get into our Blofin new trading account.
Well, I
competition.
think it's going to be a good transition here. I did want to address super chat again. We don't miss super chats, guys.
We don't.
When you guys give super chats, they will be read on the show. Omar Williams giving $5. Thank you, Omar. Said thoughts on CKB. Now, CKB is Nervous Network. And again, I have not done too much digging into it. It is not a top 100 coin, but sometimes that's completely okay. It actually gives it some room potentially to grow. Currently looking at a market cap under $1 billion. That's a good sign. And now it has cooled off here more recently. So it probably was. Let's see. Let's go 1 year. How high did it get? We got up here to over $1 billion. We've cooled off. All right. So not necessarily anything wrong there. Let's take a look over here. I don't love when you see that symbol, the infinity symbol next to max supply. Doesn't mean it can't be a good project because there's lots of great projects that have infinity max supply. But without heavy research into what their tokenomics look like for printing, I'm going to go ahead and say I can't give this coin higher than a B because of that infinite supply. Currently, its circulating supply is close to its total supply, so that you have that running for it. But I don't know if this is a project that they can just flip a switch and double the supply overnight if they wanted to. I don't know the rules they have to play by. Let's take a look. CKB, let's look it up on TradingView if we can. And see what we have going for us here. I want to choose one that would have volume to it. We'll go. Let's go daily chart here. Is there enough? Nah, it's not really enough. Let's go 4-hour chart. Got to have some candles coming in here. Let's just see what ALGO is saying about it. We're on the 4-hour chart here, meaning this is going to tell us what the next couple of days should look like. Already not liking the oscillator here. The dogs don't either, as you can tell. They're hating this. Money flow negative. We just turned down after a lower high here on the oscillator. Now, again, we set a lower high in price action too, so that's not necessarily bearish divergence. But we'd been under a reverse. Grab the wrong one. Grab freaking. We'd been under a red reversal for a while. This isn't the hardest one. Like, I'm not saying that this isn't one I would execute a short strategy, but I really don't like when the money flow and the momentum are the same. If we'd had a strong reversal here more recently, I would be even more hesitant. And in fact, you got a bearish divergence playing out right there. So not one that I'm looking to run into with a lot of confidence here. Now we are coming back down. Yeah, we're coming back down closer to support. We're already in the take profit here on the 4-hour chart. Let's see if the daily gives us anything here. We're getting close to the smart trail. It's not really old enough to have. Yeah, it's not. The data's not there to really give us a strong level of support necessarily. But I don't know. I don't feel very strong about shorting it. But I look at those tokenomics, not necessarily overly strong about longing it either. I need to do more research, and T-Shroom probably has to do more research before he give you a good take of his own. But definitely it was overextended on these time frames that we can see things. I have to look more into it. Thank you for the super chat though. T-Shroom, let's get into the article and then the conversation will switch. Be ready here, guys. The next couple of minutes, T-Shroom and I have a new game. We're gonna be playing a new competition we'll be playing on these Saturday shows. Should be fun for you guys to play along with us and give your takes on who you think is gonna win. By the way, that poll, if you guys are looking at it, you might be saying, why is this poll in chat? Which number is the better number? Go vote on which number is the better number. We'll explain why that is important here in just a couple of minutes. But T-Shroom, what is that article? Let's kind of set the stage.
Yep, absolutely. We got another super chat. We see it. Zapster, but we'll get to that in just.
I'll tell you real quick. Zapster, bullish on both of them. I like both of them long term.
So do I.
Yeah.
Got an ETH Layer 1 and the DEX coin for Solana. You're not going to go wrong with those.
Very good.
Unless crypto itself goes wrong. Let's go ahead and jump into some of these. These are, again, the title of this article here is Crypto Price Prediction, Top Altcoins to Watch Amid Market Correction. So as the market's dipping, are you buying? The first one here is Ethereum. So Ethereum, as you can see here on this chart, has definitely had a dip. It's getting down to that, down to some of these levels here. What is it down to? And I mean, this chart's not live, so it kind of doesn't matter, but what does it say here about it? With the current market cap of $445 billion, Ethereum is positioned as the second largest cryptocurrency. Amid the recent downturn in the crypto market, the ETH price plunged from $4,091 to $3,700, registering a 9.3% loss. If the supply pressure persists, the coin holders may witness a downfall to 33.60 or 31.35, the horizontal levels, which coincide with 38% 0.2 and 50% fib levels. So that's a pretty good take from a technical analyst standpoint put into text. Tim, what are you thinking on this one here? Ethereum, is this the best coin to buy during the dip?
I don't know about best in terms of necessarily the biggest gains, but there's another article this morning about a potential short squeeze in play, and it's absolutely true. We're here on the 7-day. Well, we do have some interesting liquidity, definitely some right here on 3,500 and more down towards 32. Look at where the majority of it is sitting up here around 4,100. So there's definitely a room there for the upward movement. Now, again, we're talking about over here on Bitcoin. When we come back over here, the potential for the rest of this week to be bearish. We're seeing signs of rising resistance. Even as we were speaking here, guys, we're getting a little bit of a rally, but notice we keep running out of steam every time we get back down to this descending level of resistance. And I find it hard to believe that if Bitcoin potentially has another 12 to 13% dip left in it this week, that you're going to see the likes of alts like Ethereum go up. That's just very rare that Bitcoin goes down significantly, but Ethereum goes up. I think there are some coins that can go up even if Bitcoin goes down, but Ethereum's not really one of them. But the more it goes down, the more advantageous of not only a long-term investment, but even short-term scalp for longs. I look for that all the time. I look for some big dips to then say, all right, let's enter a scalp. I eliminate some of my risk, and I can just run it up to these levels like what I'm seeing on High Block, where there's a lot of liquidations up here towards 4,100. I think Ethereum's good. It's not going to be your top moneymaker, but because it's so highly traded and there's so much volume on it, it could be a more trustworthy trade moving forward here.
Yep. Awesome. I like that a lot, Tim. I think that's really, really good. The next one here is Solana. Obviously, one we've already talked about a little bit today, but the article, I'm going to leave the chart up and just read the article. It says, defying the current market correction, the Solana price outperformed its peers with a steady recovery evidenced by 6 green candles in the daily chart. The bullish upswing recorded 45% growth, which uplifted the SOL value to $196 per coin and the current market cap of $86.6 billion. The recent positive momentum in the SOL price is being bolstered by a substantial trading volume, which currently stands as around 11.3 billion. This high trading activity may push the price towards encountering resistance near the 205 and 243 price levels. Conversely, the key support levels stand at 169 and 140. And as we saw earlier, it actually hit a record today in trading volume, 3.5 billion. I think, right here. The Solana records its highest daily DEX volume in history, surpassing 3.5 billion. So, Tim, what do you think about that analysis? Do you think that it's right on, or do you see some issues with it?
I see some issues with it. Solana, again, ignoring the dumpage, going and continuing to set new highs. I talked about it earlier on the charts. Again, we touched 198 here last night. But looking at the liquidations chart, maybe we continue to go up towards 200, but there's not as much upside in the short term on Solana as others. Like it will get taken advantage of. Even if it doesn't have a big dip, other coins will outgain Solana. A very overextended coin at the moment. I would make the flip that Solana is one of the ones to watch this week to potentially have a delayed reaction to follow what the other coins do, where some coins have fallen 20% already. Bitcoin got close to that 10% dip, and I'm still expecting at least a 10% dip. Maybe Solana, like we talked about earlier, goes into one of its 40% dips that it has had this entire space. Like that's what people need to remember. Again, very explosive moves here on Solana ever since the bear market bottom way back in December of 2022. But when you have explosive rallies like we've seen on Solana, you also have some pretty decent sized pullbacks. We've had a 50%, we've had a 40%. I think that potentially, this one was what we said. This one was another 40%. It's not crazy to think that Solana could have another 40% dip back down to about 120 and then take off up back to and set new all-time highs in the next couple of months. Yeah,
I like it. Well, this next coin is actually one of the ones that I've DCA'd into recently, and that is going to be Chainlink. So Chainlink here, looking a little cute, looking a little plump for the buy-in. The link price is currently trading at $19.33 as the writing of this article, with a trading volume of 1.16 billion and a market capitalization of 11.36 billion. If the broader market correction prolongs the downward momentum in Chainlink price, the coin holders may see support at $17.50 and $16.60. Alternatively, the buyers may face notable supply pressure at $17.50 and $16.60 mark. So, Tim, what are your thoughts here on this one? The supply being a big part of the analysis here.
Of the three, this is my favorite one to look at this next week. Why? Let's take a look at the chart. This is something I actually love. We made a video about it yesterday. It still could, guys. There's a chance that we could see Chainlink fall back down to 13, but ultimately that's not even that big of a deal. This coin, unlike others, has done an amazing job of, after capturing new highs during the run and having decent little healthy pullbacks, it then solidifies those zones. Whereas when you're looking at like ADA, where it very temporarily sets things like one time, Solana, of course, not spending a lot of time at lower levels. Look at what Chainlink does, where it captures a new level and then sets very strong, not only support, but then coming up here, setting strong resistance. That means once it's broken, that becomes very strong support. This is a very healthy chart on Chainlink. Again, the hot take we have with Chainlink is that I believe it could be a top 3 altcoin in the bull market. What I'm looking at right here with Chainlink is a coin that could, just like it started off this bull market being the most explosive coin, could we see during this pullback, Chainlink, while other coins are pulling back, start the rally early because of how much health it has in its market, and it explodes. Like I said earlier, there could be some coins that go up when Bitcoin goes down. Chainlink is one of the leading candidates to be that type of a coin because of the way the markets have moved so healthily and set very strong, consistent support and resistance. Chainlink of the 3 chosen are probably my favorite. But this takes us into T-Shroom. I know we probably have 10, 15 minutes left. This game's going to take probably 10 minutes, but hopefully it's a lot of fun. T-Shroom and I have a new game where we try to predict, and we'll put our money where our mouth is. We're going to have a competition to try to choose the best investments in 5 coins over the next week. What's going to happen is T-Shroom will get to choose 5 coins. I will get to choose 5 coins. We cannot choose the same coin. So there will be a draft. And ultimately, the reason I had you guys vote on a number, I asked T-Shroom before the chat started, which number do you prefer, 69 or 420? Of course, these are very funny and numbers that take a lot of kick in the crypto space. He chose 420, so I told him if he wins, he gets to select whether he goes first or second. If I win, I get to select if I go first or second. The way the draft pick will work is whoever goes first, the second picker will get picks number 2 and 3, and then we'll go back and forth till we finish all 5. A couple of rules about this, though. Again, we cannot pick the same coins. That's why it's like a draft. You can choose to long or short. You do not have to pick it. We're going to trade on 2x leverage, and we will have 1 minute on the clock to select our next coin. We have not been necessarily preparing for this all day. Every single time, you guys are going to see us kind of wrestle for a minute about what coin we want to choose, but we only get 5. We're going to do a total of $100, so $20 per coin will go into each one. I want you guys to pick alongside of us. Give us feedback on it. I am winning here because 58% of the audience said 69 is their favorite number, which means I get to choose T-Shroom. Do you go first? Do I go first? I like the numbers game. I want you to go first because I want to get that second and third pick, get some more heavy hitters up top. So,
okay.
Do you feel comfortable, T-Shroom, with the rules of the game? I feel like you understand.
So the concept is I need to pick today 5 coins that I think will be higher at some point in the future than they are today.
You can long or short. We're going to be using Blofin. We can look at charts. We can look at coin market cap. But ultimately, when your clock starts, you have 1 minute to select a coin, and you have to decide, do you want to long or short it? That is completely up to you.
Okay.
T-Shroom, you are up first. You get to go. Let me know when you're ready, and I will start the minute clock. In fact, just give me a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and you pull up CoinMarketCap, pull up TradingView. Let me know when you have it up. Share your screen.
Yeah,
and we'll get going.
I'm gonna be able to do it way faster than a minute. I'm gonna short Bohm right now.
Oh, that's it. Okay. To be fair, that was one of you're gonna go with it. Short and Bohm. That was one of the ones I chose. I'll tell you why though. I actually am glad you chose it and I didn't because of how far it's pulled back.
Yeah, it's already pulled back.
We're trading on 2x leverage. So if you short it, but it bounces back up 50%, you just lost all your money.
Yeah.
On that one. So you're doing $20 towards it. Again, we're going to be using Blofin. Shout out to our trading partners here on the channel. We'll submit all of these afterwards. If you guys want to trade with us, make sure you download Blofin. Join us in Discord for some fun and games. We'll post all of these things. But T-Shroom is shorting Bohm.
Yep. BOME.
Bohm is T-Shroom short.
And I wish I could have gotten in that short when we started the show, when it was up 210%.
I'm not going to start my timer for this one either because I already know. I knew if you were going to take that one, I was going to take Solana. I'm going to short Solana. Okay. Again, I kind of got into it. It's overextended. I think this is one that could have a pretty good pullback delayed after the rest of the coins have pulled it. That is my second pick. Now, I'm not prepared for my third pick, so I will start the clock and we will get going. Boom. All right, you can share my screen. Let's go over here to CoinMarketCap. and let's take a look at the last 7 days, some of the biggest gainers, some of the biggest losers. You already took Bohm. Jupiter, let's go. Trading View, Jupe, USD. Got 45 seconds left. Let's
Clock's
see what we
ticking,
got going on
Tim.
here.
Clock's
Yeah.
ticking.
I think I want to look at probably the 12-hour chart and see what it's communicating to me. Oh, I hate this. All right, let's do the oscillators. Okay, I'm gonna have to go on a risk here with this one, but it's been overextended here. It's going. I'm gonna take a short on Jupiter because I do believe that Jupe is a little overextended right now, and even though it's still, it's moving down today, but I think that we could get a cool back, maybe back down towards 81 cents. We're sitting at $1.35. We could come back down to that smart trail concept, maybe the equilibrium on $1 or so. That's pretty much good stuff. Eric Wallen says, Tim, don't you dare. It's too late, Eric Wallen. What's done is done. That's my time. By the way, we have a minute to pick it. Once we pick the coin, we're good to go. T-Shroom, this is your pick number 2. You started off with Bohm.
Yep.
Pick number 2, a minute on the clock. Go.
All right. Well, it won't take me too long here, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna buy Chainlink. So I'm gonna long Chainlink from here. I think it's in a nice little range. It's coming in on the daily, coming down and tickling. Pick. It's already gotten a bid off of the bottom Bollinger Band. So I think it's probably gonna get a nice little buy here. Now there's some things down in the oscillator that would tell me to probably reverse this concept, but I think I'm gonna stick with it. Let's see, the 4-hour with some of my time. We'll get to the super chat. We did not forget about the super chat. We're going to get to it. Yeah, the 4-hour actually looking even worse. But so I'm going to stick with my pick here. I'm going to stick with Chainlink.
The truth is we might not end up needing this minute. This minute is there for just in case we don't know what's next.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we stare at the markets all day, so we kind of know.
Yeah.
Have an idea.
We both have 2 picks in now, just in case people are following along. T-Shroom is going to be shorting Bohm and longing Link. I like the Link pick. The Bohm could be a big winner, but it also could be one that is very dangerous to getting eliminated. My first 2 have been Solana short and Jupiter short, but I'm going to go long with my third pick, starting off the third picks. I'm going to go long with Optimism. You go to the chart right here, coin market cap, it's the biggest loser in the last 7 days, down almost 21%, but I still like the project. They have some unlock stuff happening. That's what I think is scaring a lot of different people here. But I come back over here to the chart. Money flow is still negative here on the 12-hour chart, so that's one thing I don't like. But the histograms on the MACD are slowing down. We're hitting a stop loss. We're right around 2 pretty big order blocks right here and the green supply. So I think there's a chance it dips a little bit more. But since we're on a 2x, it could dip 50% or 49%. I'm still in this trade. I still have it open. I think we could get a decent little bounce here on OP. So I'm going to be longing OP. And seeing how I do with that one. But T-Shroom, you are now on the clock for your third pick. What do you got?
Oh, man. See, this is where it starts to get difficult because the first couple I was pretty confident in. I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to go to coin market cap, and I'm going to see what's up and what's down. Let's see. What's something here that has some weakness that shouldn't be?
You can just hit the 24 hours twice.
I want to see what's up. Now, are you trying to throw me for a loop here? Is some interference?
Yeah, you have 50 seconds left.
Chat,
what do you guys think of our picks so far? Comment if you guys can also give us suggestions. You guys can play Team Tim, Team T-Shroom. If you guys got some key alpha in there. This is we got to decide this week also. 40 seconds left, T-Shroom. We got to decide what the loser has to do. We're thinking something along the lines of a T-shirt, some sort of embarrassing T-shirt we have to wear on stream. But if you guys have other good suggestions, leave those in chat, leave those in the comments, leave them in Discord, and we will have weekly punishments for the loser every single week.
I'm gonna short Monero. Let's do that.
Short Monero. XMR short. Yeah, I think this could be a week shorts play out decently.
Mm-hmm.
But we both have 3 in our. We both have 2 picks left. You got that one in under a minute. Let me start my timer. Minute on the clock. Let's see what else is in here. I'm tempted but I just don't like. It's had such a bullish last 30 days. I wonder if the pullback should continue to be severe. Oh, it's not loading. This is wasting a lot of valuable time here. I'm not going to go Sheeb. Let's go. Let's continue to look here though. I already picked Solana. What is AVAX? I got 30 seconds left. 30 seconds. AVAX looking up here right now. Let's see what the oscillators are saying. We hit our take profit here more recently. The money flow is slightly going down, but it's not. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm very tempted to short AVAX. Let's do it. We're gonna go AVAX. I have 6 seconds left anyway. We're gonna go Tim. It's gonna be shorting AVAX. I don't love doing it.
Going against two strong coins of Solana and AVAX now. Ballsy.
Yeah.
And
your fourth pick here, T-Shroom. What you got?
All right. Well, I'm going to go back to CoinMarketCap. I'm going to start there, and this time I'm doing the 7-day. So I'm looking down the 7-day, and what I'm really liking here, it's between Lido or Arweave. So I want to go look at Arweave really quickly on the charts here, and let's see. Yeah, see, I think Arweave is probably primed for a move higher here. And since I've already gone short, I think 2 coins now. But the money flow's negative. Let's see what the 4 hour. I mean, but it's this time next week, or I can take profits at any point, right? I just have to text you.
Yeah, by the way, we didn't say that. We can take profits anywhere between here, or cut losses anywhere between here and next week. But once you get out of a trade, you can't get back in. So it's not like we're trading these coins all week. This is one good trade, and we're trying to catch the exact peaks or exact valleys, so we get much money. See who turns $100 into more money by next week.
Depending on how Lido looks, let's go long Arweave, long AR. I like the way that it looks on that daily chart here, coming up against the Bollinger Band. I think it's getting some nice support there, and the money. That's actually starting to plateau there. Could get a reversal at some point here. That would be nice.
This is not good. Yazer Doink Ashora says, Bohm is pumping. Shorts are wrecked. I don't like that because he's going to be shorting it. We haven't entered these shorts yet. All right, here we go. All right, minute on the clock starts now. This is my 5th and final pick. What am I going to be trading here? I feel like I want to be a positive person. I don't
a positive
want to be
guy.
negative anymore. I'm already longing optimism. Oh, Ajax, you're tempting. You're so tempting. Because I really like Ajax. What's the project? Ooh, 12-hour hitting the take profit and the smart trail, but not seeing signs of reversal whatsoever. I'm already down this road. Let's see. Oh, I don't love this. Let's go to daily chart. Let's see if I can get any. Nope. I don't like that. In fact, I wanted to be positive, but I'm looking at render thinking I should possibly short it. I'm going to do it. I wanted to be positive. I wanted to be positive. I'm so sorry. Render. We're going to go short. I'm not really hedging my bets very well right here because I'm only in one long. I better hope that it's a bearish week if I'm going to win this.
I don't know, man.
Your hedges are pretty good. You got
shorting strong altcoins while Bitcoin's in a dip is ballsy, man. Because if Bitcoin gets a bid over the weekend, man, you're trashed.
No. I'm screwed, but I can't. I'm just responding to what I'm seeing on the charts. That should lead me in that week-long venture.
I love it. Okay, so you're going to enter all these trades like pretty much after the show.
Yeah, right after the show, just so we don't waste people's time, because that's boring watching you just enter trades, especially 5 of them. As soon as we end the live here, T-Shirt and I will go into Blofin and enter these trades. $20.
We could go into.
We could do delaying. Hold on, you're delaying. You have one more pick. Minute on the clock, T-Shirt. You got one more. Yeah.
All right.
4. Yeah, good delay. Right
let's see. You know what I'm going to do? So our super chat, I'm going to answer this in real time. So our super chat was Ondo, and it looks like a pretty solid coin. I feel like I've heard about this one before.
It's not. You can't use it. You're wasting time. That's 140. The rules were top 100.
Top 100. Okay, I got to go back.
Gotcha.
I'm running out of time here.
30 seconds. Oh, this is rough.
Fet.ai. Ooh, I'm tempted to short that one. Let's see, because it's been getting a bid.
Ooh, but it's on that 20 SMA. That's hard right there. That's a hard one right there for sure.
Oh, yeah, short. I'm going to short Fet.
All right. Yeah, got some time. All right. Fet, you join me in the short game. So it really is, I think it'll boil down to this. All right, it is over. Let's refresh this real quick. All right, T-Shroom. This week, his top 5 coins, or his 5 coins he's watching. He's more bearish than bullish, but he's more bullish than me. T-Shroom will be shorting Bohm. Big risk, but could be massive rewards. That one could win you or lose you this entire competition. He's going to be shorting BOEM. He is going to be longing Chainlink. Interesting right there. He's going to be shorting XMR or Monero. He's going to be longing Arweave, and he'll be shorting Fetch. So he's playing the field. He's got his really big winner, but then the rest of it, he's split. He's got 2 longs, 2 shorts. We'll see how that plays out for him. If it's a bullish week, he could do well. He would lose probably his BOEM, but he could do very well because I only have 1 long. My 5 coins. I am going to be shorting Solana. That was my number 1 pick. Feel decently confident about that one. I am going to be shorting Jupiter. So I'm really going against the Solana ecosystem this next week that's been on fire here more recently. I will be longing Optimism. That is my 1 long. That's my 1 hedge. Let's hope it just goes nuts. All right. And then I will be shorting AVAX and shorting Render. Who do you think? Put in chat who will be winning this week. We will put these details over in the Discord so you guys can follow along. We'll give you guys updates next week as they go. Let us know who you think is going to win, though.
We can't end the show yet, though, Tim, because we did have a super chat.
Yeah,
they wanted us to check out Ondo. Before we get to that, the other super chat said Arbitrum or Jupiter. Again, they're both probably going to be solid buys because they're both pretty high utility coins. But I will say, Eric Wallen made a good point. Arbitrum does have an unlock coming up, so I would just wait till after that unlock. I don't know when that unlock is.
Honestly, though, sometimes these unlocks have worked as major FUD that scares people out of the project before a big pump. We've actually seen more recently a couple of coins have pumped upon unlocks because so many people start to FUD out that the whales scoop up all the sells. So people are selling bottoms. They dip into the unlock, and then everyone gets so scared of the unlock, and then it shoots to the upside. So I wouldn't necessarily I'm not going to tell you ARB's going to absolutely shoot to the upside, but I'm telling you, don't run for the hills and sell all of your ARB because there's an unlock. I would say hold tight. Maybe don't add too much to the position, but ARB is a solid project that it'll get through the unlock. It'll keep chugging along. More people will come in. The demand is continuing to rise, just like the rest of the crypto space. Don't FUD out just because there's an unlock.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's good. Yeah, with Ondo, I'm not so sure. I thought that I'd heard about this one before. I haven't. I don't think I've ever seen Ondo, so I would be careful with this one. It could be something that's being promoted here in our chat. Yeah, so I would be very careful with it.
I've never heard of it. So,
but I mean, it's got a somewhat significant. I mean, 700 million market cap. That's pretty big. Institutional grade finance now on chain, so looks like you can get yield off the dollar off. So, I mean, I don't know. It's not something that's poking out to me as like the next big thing, but who knows? It could be. Ondo. I've never heard of it before, but thanks for the super chat, Zupstar.
I see Yazer Doinkashora says shorting Render in the NVIDIA conference. Good luck with that. I got a little news for you guys. Sometimes conferences for companies do not go well for them. Sometimes, unless there's a massive announcement about some new partnership that is extremely lucrative, unless there's an announcement about this crazy new technology that nobody saw coming, a lot of times conferences can be sell the news events. So it's possible that it pumps the market, but Render's it's a little overbought at the moment. And the markets are kind of showing that, charts kind of showing that. So unless there's something nuts that happens at this conference, I'm not necessarily counting that as an extremely bullish event. But we'll have to wait and see. I could get wrecked on that one. You're absolutely right. That is the point of this competition. And if I get wrecked and if I lose, I will bear the consequence. And you guys get to play a part in choosing what that consequence would be. With that said, though, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in for another amazing Saturday show. We love each and every single last one of you guys. Let us know in the comments down below what you guys think about our new competition. Give us, if you have any updates, things that you think we could tweak, let us know. Otherwise, T-Stream and I are going to go buy and sell some crypto. We will see the rest of you guys Monday morning for our normal streams and our normal videos. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe. Lethal on trade. Entries and exits worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shouted out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper. Turn that better to cake. Money like Lego. Connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.